Have you ever felt that burning desire to create something only to hit a wall? That's the life of a creator. Moments of pure inspiration followed by what feels like an eternity of nothing. I'm Jens from Explorer Audio, and today I want to talk about those ups and downs we all go through as artists. Whether you're a musician, painter, writer, or just someone who loves creating, you'll recognize this feeling. And trust me, there is something powerful in learning how to ride those waves. By the end of this video, I hope you walk away with a deeper understanding of what it means to embrace your own creative journey. Music has been with me my whole life. I grew up playing pretty much anything that made noise, from the Game Boy to the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, and eventually thought, hey, I could make this stuff too. So I picked up the bass, piano and drums. My first instrument were the drums. I learned them around 16, 17 years old, and about 10 years later I started to play the piano with around 28, 29 years. So pretty late. And a few years later, I began in the 30s to play the bass guitar. My projects, Explorer 2000 and Explorer Mindfuck project, are all about that freedom to create, whether it's retro synths or distorted guitars. But here's the thing, creativity doesn't always work on your schedule. Sometimes inspiration strikes like a lightning bolt, and other times you sit there for weeks, maybe even months, just waiting for a spark. And as a creator, that can be rough. You start doubting yourself, wondering if you'll ever create something great again. I've definitely been there, and I'm guessing many of you have too. It's tough, right? There are moments when you feel like nothing's moving forward and you start questioning everything. But here's what I've learned. Those phases of nothing are part of the process. When I'm not creating music, I'm not wasting time. I'm learning, gathering inspiration or focusing on the business side, whether it's copyright, taxes, or figuring out how to grow my music career. It's funny, sometimes I'll spend weeks just deep into that side of things and almost forget about the music. But then, out of nowhere, that wave of creativity hits me. And when it does, I have to grab it, no matter what. There are nights when I'll just lock myself into the home studio and work non-stop. I'll forget to sleep, sometimes even to eat, because when this spark is there, you can't ignore it. And I know some of you have been there too. Those moments when you just have to create, when nothing else matters. You're in the zone. It's exhausting, but it's the best kind of exhaustion. Those late nights, those long days, they remind me why I fell in love with music in the first place. What I've learned over the years is to trust my process. There are days when I can finish a track in a matter of hours and days when I tinker endlessly, only to realize I'm overcomplicating things. I've been there with my music too, overthinking until I've turned a good idea into a mess. Now, I've learned that sometimes simple is better, a step away when I need to, and trust that the track is done when it feels right. I've stopped trying to force it to be perfect. And honestly, that's where the magic happens, when you let go of your control and just let the music breathe. Your creative journey is yours. No one else can tell you how often you should create or how long it should take to finish something. Whether you're making art every single day or going through weeks of downtime, it's all part of the process, and you need to trust it. There are times when it feels like nothing is happening. Those quiet moments can feel frustrating, like you're stuck. But believe me, that's when the growth happens. Even if you can't see it yet, those are the times when you're learning, gathering strength, and preparing for your next breakthrough. You're gathering inspiration, and when that breakthrough comes, it'll be worth all the waiting. I've learned to embrace those phases and hope you will too. The moments when you're not creating are just as important as the ones when you are. They make space for new ideas, for fresh inspiration. And when that next spark hits, you'll be ready. Thanks for joining me today on my second logbook entry. If there's one thing that I want you to make from this, it's that your creative journey, with all its ups and downs, is valid. We all go through those moments of doubt and silence, but they're just part of the bigger picture. So don't be too hard on yourself when things feel slow. Trust your process, and when the time is right, the ideas will come. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments about your own creative experiences. We are all in this together. And remember, sometimes the quiet moments lead to the loudest breakthroughs. Thank you. Next event, next weekend. See you guys.